The large medical station orbited the blue-green planet below, its white halls filled with doctors from many worlds. In one small room, a young Celestian child named Taiho sat quietly. His blue skin shimmered under the lights. His thin legs hung over the edge of the exam table, too weak to support him. Taiho's father, Ambassador Sunwoo, stood nearby. His face showed worry as he spoke with Dr. Hana, the lead doctor. Dr. Hana had 4 eyes that blinked one after another as she looked at her medical screen. "I am sorry, Ambassador," Dr. Hana said. "We have tried everything. Your son's body cannot sense gravity correctly. On your homeworld, the gravity is much lighter. Here his body cannot adapt." Sunwoo's shoulders dropped. "There must be something you can do. We have seen the best doctors in the Galactic Union." Dr. Hana shook her head. Her skin changed color slightly, showing her sadness. "The problem is in how his body formed. We cannot change that now. He will need to use a floating chair for movement." Taiho looked down at his useless legs. He had never walked, never run. On his homeworld, children his age flew through the light gravity with special wings attached to their arms, but Taiho could not even stand. "So that's it?" Sunwoo asked. "My son will never walk?" "I am truly sorry," Dr. Hana said. "Our medicine is advanced, but some things cannot be fixed." In the corner of the room stood Dr. Minho, a human doctor who had been quietly listening. Humans were new to the Galactic Union. Many alien species thought humans were simple and their technology basic. Dr. Minho had been working at the station for only 3 months. "Excuse me," Dr. Minho said, stepping forward. "I don't mean to interrupt, but I might have an idea." The other doctors in the room turned to look at him. One tall doctor with green skin made a sound like a laugh. "Human. Your medicine is hundreds of years behind ours," the green doctor said. "What could you possibly offer?" Dr. Minho was not upset by this. Humans were used to being underestimated. "We approach problems differently," he said. "May I?" He gestured toward Taiho. Sunwoo nodded, and Dr. Minho came closer to examine the child. "Humans have a long history of working with disabilities," Dr. Minho explained. "Instead of always trying to cure the body, we often build tools to help the body work differently." He gently touched Taiho's legs. "The issue is his gravity sense organs didn't form correctly, right? So his brain doesn't know which way is up or down in standard gravity." "That is correct," Dr. Hana said, curious now. "His inner balance system is too weak for this gravity level." Dr. Minho smiled at Taiho. "On Earth, many humans have balance problems too. We've made special tools to help them." "But this is different," another doctor said. "His whole species evolved in low gravity. His bones and muscles are different." "True," Dr. Minho agreed. "But the basic problem is similar. It's about sending the right signals to the brain." He turned to Sunwoo. "Ambassador, I believe we might be able to build a special frame for your son. It wouldn't change his body, but it would help his brain understand gravity." Sunwoo looked confused. "A frame? You mean like the floating chairs we already have?" "No," Dr. Minho said. "Something that would let him actually walk. It would support his body and help his brain sense which way is up and down." The alien doctors exchanged looks of doubt. Dr. Hana spoke carefully. "Human medicine relies heavily on mechanical solutions. We prefer to fix the body itself." "Sometimes the body doesn't need fixing," Dr. Minho said. "Sometimes it just needs help to work differently." Taiho had been quiet until now. "Could I really walk?" he asked in a small voice. Dr. Minho nodded. "I believe so. It might not be perfect at first, but yes." Sunwoo looked at his son's hopeful face, then back at Dr. Minho. "The best doctors in the galaxy have said it's impossible." "Maybe they're right," Dr. Minho said. "But humans are good at doing impossible things. Will you let us try?" The room was quiet. The alien doctors waited for Sunwoo's answer. Finally, the ambassador spoke. "My son has never stood on his own. If there's even a small chance..." He took a deep breath. "Yes, doctor. We will try your way." Dr. Minho smiled. "Good. I'll need to bring in my colleague, Dr. Jiwoo. She's our best biomedical engineer." As they left the room, Dr. Hana pulled Dr. Minho aside. "I hope you know what you're doing, human. Don't give them false hope." Dr. Minho looked back at Taiho, who was smiling for the first time. "It's not false hope," he said. "Sometimes the simplest solutions are the ones we miss." 3 days later, Taiho and his father stood outside the human medical wing. It looked different from the main hospital. Bright colors covered the walls. Pictures drawn by children hung everywhere. Through the glass doors, they could see medical equipment that looked simpler than what they were used to. "Are you sure about this?" Sunwoo asked his son. The ambassador still had doubts. Human medicine was not well respected in the galaxy. Taiho nodded. "I want to try," he said quietly. They walked in and were greeted by Dr. Minho and a woman with short black hair. "Welcome," said Dr. Minho. "This is Dr. Jiwoo, our top engineer for medical devices." Dr. Jiwoo smiled and bowed slightly. "It's nice to meet you both," she said. Her voice was warm and kind. She led them to a room filled with tools and screens. Unlike the clean white medical rooms they knew, this place looked like a workshop. Parts and tools covered the tables. "Please sit down," said Dr. Jiwoo. Taiho settled into a chair, while Dr. Jiwoo picked up a small scanner. It looked old compared to the alien medical tools. "May I scan your body?" she asked Taiho. He nodded and she moved the device slowly around him. "Our approach is different from what you're used to," Dr. Minho explained. "Your doctors try to fix the body itself. We, humans, often create tools to help the body work differently." A 3D image of Taiho's body appeared on a screen. Dr. Jiwoo studied it carefully. "I see the problem," she said. "Your inner gravity sensors didn't grow right. They can't tell your brain which way is up or down in our gravity. Can you fix them?" Sunwoo asked. "No," Dr. Jiwoo said honestly, "but we don't need to. Instead, we can build something to help his brain get that information in a different way." She showed them drawings of a light frame that would go around Taiho's legs and body. "This will sense gravity and tell your brain through your skin," she explained to Taiho. "It won't change your body. It will just give your brain the information it's missing." Sunwoo looked confused, but the other doctors said it was impossible for him to walk. "They meant it's impossible to fix his body," said Dr. Minho. "We're not trying to fix him. We're helping him work with what he has." Dr. Jiwoo touched a button and a door opened. Inside was a room with different machines and tables. "This is where we make our devices," she said. "We can build your frame here, Taiho. It will be made just for you." Taiho looked around with wide eyes. "How long will it take?" "About a week," said Dr. Jiwoo. "We need to make it perfect for your body." As they talked, another doctor entered the room. It was Dr. Hana from the Alien Medical Center. "I came to see this human approach," she said. Her 4 eyes blinked with curiosity. "Our doctors are talking about your plan. Most think it will fail." "That's okay," said Dr. Jiwoo with a smile. "Humans are used to people doubting us." Dr. Minho showed Dr. Hana the plans for Taiho's frame. "This is so simple," Dr. Hana said, sounding surprised. "Just mechanical parts and sensors?" "Simple doesn't mean it won't work," said Dr. Minho. "Humans have been making devices like this for hundreds of years." Dr. Jiwoo took Taiho to another room to take more measurements. While they were gone, Sunwoo spoke with the doctors. "Why hasn't anyone tried this before?" he asked. "Most advanced species focus on biological solutions," Dr. Hana explained. "Mechanical aids are seen as primitive." "Humans had to be creative," said Dr. Minho. "We couldn't change our bodies easily, so we built tools to help us instead." When Taiho returned, Dr. Jiwoo had him try different materials against his skin. "Which one feels most comfortable?" she asked. Taiho touched each sample. "This one," he said, pointing to a soft, light material. "Good choice," said Dr. Jiwoo. "That's what we'll use for the parts that touch your skin." As they prepared to leave, Dr. Jiwoo gave Taiho a small device. "This will help your muscles get stronger before we fit your frame," she explained. "Use it every day." In the hallway outside, Dr. Hana stopped Dr. Minho. "The child's hopes are very high now," she said. "What if your device doesn't work?" Dr. Minho looked through the doorway at Taiho, who was smiling as he showed his father the exercise device. "Then we'll try again," he said simply. "That's what humans do. We keep trying until we find a way. But I believe this will work." As Sunwoo and Taiho left, Other alien doctors watched them pass. Word had spread about the human attempt to help the Celestian child walk. "They'll be watching our progress," Dr. Jiwoo said quietly. "Let them watch," replied Dr. Minho. "Sometimes the best way to change minds is to do what everyone says is impossible." The workshop hummed with activity. 4 days had passed since Taiho's first visit to the Human Medical Center. Now the young Celestian watched with wide eyes as Dr. Jiwoo worked on his special frame. "Can I touch it?" Taiho asked, pointing to the half-finished device on the table. Dr. Jiwoo smiled and nodded. "Of course. It's being made for you after all." Taiho ran his blue fingers over the light metal parts. The frame was nothing like the medical devices he had seen before. Those were usually smooth and white, with no visible parts. This had joints and sensors that you could see. "Why does it look so different?" he asked. "Humans make things differently," Dr. Jiwoo explained. She picked up a small sensor. "We like to see how things work, and we like to be able to fix them ourselves when they break." Sunwoo stood nearby, watching his son's interest grow. In the corner of the room, 3 alien doctors observed quietly. Word had spread through the station about the humans' unusual approach, and many were curious. Dr. Minho entered the workshop carrying a box of supplies. "How's our patient today?" he asked cheerfully. "I did the exercises every day," Taiho said, proudly. He showed how he could move his legs more strongly now. "Excellent work," Dr. Minho said. "That will help a lot when you try the frame." One of the watching doctors stepped forward. It was Dr. Kang, a specialist in Celestian medicine. "I still don't understand how this will work," he said. "The child's gravity sensors are not functioning." "Let me show you," Dr. Jiwoo said. She picked up a small round device. "This is a gravity sensor, like the ones in Taiho's frame. When I tilt it," she moved her hand, and lights on the device changed color. "It knows which way is up and down." "Yes, but how will that help him walk?" Dr. Kang asked. Dr. Minho explained. "The sensors will tell small motors in the frame to make tiny adjustments. These will help Taiho stay balanced. And these," he pointed to flat pads on the inside of the frame. "These will touch his skin and give his brain information about position." Dr. Kang looked doubtful. "It seems very simple." "Simple isn't bad," Dr. Jiwoo said as she worked. "Humans learned to make do with what we had. We couldn't change our bodies easily, so we built tools instead." Sunwoo had been quiet, but now he spoke. "Why haven't other species developed this approach?" Another alien doctor answered. "Most advanced species focused on changing the body itself. Mechanical solutions were seen as temporary fixes. But sometimes, the so-called temporary fix lets someone live their life now, not years in the future," Dr. Minho said. He turned to Taiho. "Would you like to see how the frame will connect to your body?" Taiho nodded eagerly. Dr. Jiwoo helped him onto an examination table and showed him where the frame would attach to his legs and torso. "It won't hurt," she promised, "and you'll be able to take it off when you sleep or bathe." "Will I be able to play with other children?" Taiho asked. "Yes," Dr. Jiwoo said. "Maybe not right away. You'll need to practice first, but soon." While Taiho was being fitted for the final measurements, Sunwoo spoke quietly with Dr. Minho. "Other Celestian parents have contacted me," he said. "They have children with similar problems. If this works, it will open doors," Dr. Minho finished for him. "That's what we hope." In another part of the workshop, Dr. Jiwoo was showing Taiho how the control panel worked. "You can adjust it yourself," she explained. "If something doesn't feel right, you can change it." This was new to Taiho. On his world, medical devices were controlled only by doctors. "I can fix it myself?" he asked, surprised. "Yes," Dr. Jiwoo said. "That's important to humans. We believe people should be able to adjust their own devices." Later that day, after Taiho and Sunwoo had left, the human doctors met with a group of alien medical specialists who had come to observe their work. "Your approach is interesting," said one doctor with scales instead of skin. "But it doesn't cure the condition." "No," agreed Dr. Minho. "But it lets him walk now, not years from now when a cure might be found. Human medicine developed differently because of your short lives," another doctor noted. "You needed quick solutions." Dr. Jiwoo nodded. "We had to work with what we had. Our constraints forced us to be creative." As the alien doctors left, still talking among themselves, Dr. Jiwoo turned back to her work. The frame was nearly complete. Tomorrow would be the first test. "Do you think it will work?" asked a young alien nurse who had stayed behind. Dr. Jiwoo looked at the frame, checking each part one last time. "Yes," she said simply. "It will work." That night, across the station, Tai-ho lay in bed, unable to sleep. He kept imagining what it would feel like to stand on his own, to walk across a room without help. For the first time in his life, he allowed himself to hope. The day of the test arrived. The small medical room was packed with people. News had spread across the space station. Many doctors from different worlds came to watch. Some believed the human device would work. Most thought it would fail. Tai-ho sat on the edge of the exam table. He wore a special suit that would connect to the frame. His blue skin looked pale with nervousness. His father Sunwoo stood nearby, trying to look calm. "Are you ready?" Dr. Jiwoo asked, holding the frame. It shined under the lights. The metal was light and strong. Small lights blinked along its sides. Tai-ho nodded. He could not speak. In all his life, he had never stood on his own. He had watched other children run and play while he sat in a floating chair. "Remember," Dr. Minho said, "this is just the first test. It may not work perfectly right away." An important doctor from the Galactic Medical Council was there. She had 6 eyes and gray skin. "This seems like a waste of time," she whispered to another doctor. "The humans should accept that some conditions cannot be helped." Dr. Jiwoo heard this but said nothing. She carefully placed the frame against Tai-ho's legs. It clicked into place on his special suit. More parts went around his waist and chest. "How does it feel?" she asked. "Strange," Tai-ho said, "but not bad." Dr. Jiwoo made small adjustments. The whole room was quiet now. Even those who doubted watched closely. "I'm going to turn it on now," Dr. Jiwoo said. "You might feel some vibrations as the sensors start working." She pressed a button on the control panel. Lights along the frame came on. Tai-ho's eyes widened as he felt the frame come to life. "It's talking to me," he said in wonder. Dr. Minho smiled. "That's the sensors sending information to your skin. Your brain will learn what it means." "Are you ready to try standing?" Dr. Jiwoo asked. Tai-ho looked at his father. Sunwoo nodded encouragement. "Yes," Tai-ho said. Dr. Jiwoo and Dr. Minho stood on either side of him. Slowly they helped him slide to the edge of the table. His feet touched the floor for the first time without pain. "Now," Dr. Jiwoo said, "try to push yourself up. The frame will help you balance." Tai-ho took a deep breath. He pushed with his arms. The frame sensed his movement and activated. Small motors hummed. He began to rise. For a moment, everyone thought he would fall. His body wobbled. The frame adjusted. Quickly. Then, amazingly, Tai-ho was standing. A gasp went through the room. Sunwoo covered his mouth with his hand, his eyes wet with tears. Tai-ho stood on his own 2 feet. His face showed surprise, then joy. "I'm standing," he whispered. Then louder, "Father, I'm standing." The room was completely silent. Even the doubters could not speak. "Would you like to try a step?" Dr. Minho asked gently. Tai-ho nodded. His face was serious with concentration. "Just think about moving your right foot forward," Dr. Jiwoo instructed. "The frame will help you balance." Tai-ho looked down at his feet. Slowly, carefully, he lifted his right foot. The frame supported him as he moved it forward and placed it down again. He had taken his first step. Again, Dr. Jiwoo encouraged. "Left foot now." Tai-ho moved his left foot forward. Another step, then another right step. He was walking across the room. The alien doctors watched in shock. The 6-eyed doctor's mouth hung open. What they had said was impossible was happening before them. Sunwoo moved forward, arms outstretched. Tai-ho walked into his father's embrace. For the first time, he hugged his father while standing. "How is this possible?" asked the 6-eyed doctor. "Their technology is so simple." Dr. Minho smiled. "Sometimes the answer isn't more advanced technology. Sometimes it's just a different way of thinking about the problem." Tai-ho pulled back from his father's hug. "Can I walk more?" he asked. "Of course," Dr. Jiwoo said, "but slowly. You need to practice." Tai-ho turned and walked back across the room. Each step was more confident than the last. The frame adjusted to his movements. helping him stay balanced. One of the younger alien doctors approached Dr. Minho. "Could this approach help others?" he asked quietly. "Yes," Dr. Minho said. "Many others." As Taeho walked around the room, smiling wider with each step, the alien doctors began to talk among themselves. Something had changed. A new idea had been planted. Sometimes the simple solution was the one they had been missing all along. 6 months had passed since Taeho took his first steps. The human medical wing looked different now. It had grown 3 times bigger. Doctors from all over the galaxy came to learn about human adaptive technology. Today was a special day. Taeho walked confidently into the main hall. His walking frame had changed. It was smaller now, fitting close to his body under his clothes. Only someone looking closely would notice he wore it. "Ready for your speech?" Dr. Jiwoo asked. She wore a formal uniform for the ceremony. Taeho nodded. "I'm nervous, but I can do it." The hall was filled with people from many worlds. At the front sat the leaders of the Galactic Medical Council. They had come for the opening of the new Adaptive Technology Center. Sunwoo, now the official ambassador for the project, stood at the podium. "6 months ago," he began, "my son could not stand. The best doctor said it was impossible. Then we met 2 human doctors who thought differently." The crowd turned to look at Dr. Minho and Dr. Jiwoo, who sat near the front. "Today," Sunwoo continued, 27 children from 15 different species can walk using human adaptive technology. What we thought was impossible is now happening every day." In the back of the room, the 6-eyed doctor who had doubted the project watched with new respect. Beside her stood Dr. Kang, who now led a team studying how to combine alien and human medical approaches. "We have learned an important lesson," Sunwoo said. "Sometimes looking at a problem differently is more important than having advanced technology." Taeho took a deep breath and walked to the front of the room. Everyone watched him move. His steps were smooth and confident now. "Before I met Dr. Minho and Dr. Jiwoo," Taeho said in a clear voice, "I could only watch other children play. Now, I can run. I can dance. I can play games with my friends." A young girl from another species sat in the front row. She had just received her own frame the day before. She watched Taeho with hope in her eyes. "The frame is part of me now," Taeho continued. "I don't even think about it. My brain has learned to work with it." Dr. Minho watched with pride. What had started as one project for one child had grown into something that was changing medicine across the galaxy. After the speech, doctors gathered around displays showing the new technologies being developed. One showed a breathing device for species with different air needs. Another helped beings from high-gravity worlds move easily on space stations. "Your approach has changed how we think," Dr. Kang said to Dr. Jiwoo. "For too long, we only tried to fix the body. We never thought about working with it as it is." In a corner of the room, Taeho showed the young girl how to take her first steps with her new frame. She wobbled, just as he had done 6 months ago. "Don't worry," he told her. "It gets easier. Your brain will learn." The girl took another step, then another. She smiled the same smile Taeho had when he first walked. Dr. Minho joined a group of alien doctors who were examining a new device. "The key is to let people control their own devices," he was explaining. "They know their bodies better than we." This idea was still new to many alien doctors. They were used to controlling all medical treatments, but they were beginning to see the value in the human approach. As the day ended, Sunwoo found Dr. Jiwoo and Dr. Minho. "Thank you," he said simply. "You have changed more than just my son's life." Dr. Jiwoo smiled. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The best innovations come when different minds work together." Outside the window, the stars shone brightly. On the planets below, children who once could not move were taking their first steps. A new era of medical thinking had begun, and it had all started because 2 human doctors had looked at an impossible problem and seen a different path.